All right, so we have North Shore versus Spring. So the North Shore Mustangs versus the Spring Lions. So North Shore at first is the first time I've seen them in their visiting uniforms. I almost thought that they had some type of shirt over top of them. So they have this like light silver metallic numbering system. And it's kind of hard to make out exactly what the numbers are. So I hope you can bear with me for the broadcast as I try my best to try to decipher the numbers on North Shore's uniform. So we have, like I said, Spring Lions versus North Shore Mustang. North Shore Mustangs ranked, I believe, second in the state, class Division 6A, with Austin Westlake still, I believe, in the #1 slot. So we saw in this very field on Thursday night, we saw Spring Westfield absolutely dismantle Fort Bend Hightower by a score of over 50-some points on the Spring Westfield. So actually that's going to set up a phenomenal Week 3 matchup between Spring Westfield versus North Shore, and that will be, I believe, in North Shore Stadium. So we're kind of excited for that. Galena Park ISD. So Spring, in stark contrast, so they have an all-black uniform system. So they have black pants, black tops with white lettering, and a white helmet. And it looks like a green metallic lion on either side with a vertical, looks like a metallic green stripe along their midline of their helmet. North Shore performing as advertised. Here we go. So they got red pants, white jerseys, like I alluded to earlier. It's a little easier to make out now. So they're gray, like a metallic gray lettering. So the numbering is almost like it sublimes with red accents on it. They have their last names on their jerseys, as well as a red helmet, kind of similar to Westfield Mustangs, and kind of reminiscent of the SMU Mustang helmet system. So here we go. So Spring ISD, Planet Ford Stadium. Spring versus North Shore. Like I said earlier, North Shore, the #2 ranked team in 6A, which is the highest class in Texas. So they're going to do a low liner, and then it's going to be picked up at about the 32, almost bobbled to about the 30-yard line. So we're going to see exactly where they place the ball. This will be North Shore's. We're going to see exactly if they take over where they left off last Thursday evening. So they completely run roughshod over the Woodlands. Like I said, setting up for a top 10 matchup next week versus Spring Westfield. So the sophomore quarterback out of shotgun formation, trips flanked out to the far side, one flanked to the near side. Quarterback going to hand the ball off first back through the line, and he's going to get a decent gain on that one. So that's going to look like number 28 for North Shore. That is going to be DeAndre Hardiman, the 5'8", 180-pound sophomore running back. So like we said earlier, the quarterback is a sophomore. That's Caleb Bailey. He quarterbacked last year state championship for North Shore as a freshman. So Bailey, play action pass. He calls his own number, still on his feet, up the middle, and he gets hit by number 4. So 4 lays the wood per se. So that is going to be Dakota Brooks, the cornerback, the senior. So great little hit there, but great wherewithal. And I'm amazed by, like I said, being only a sophomore, we're able to witness one of the rare feats of being able to see a quarterback at Texas highest level for all 4 years coming up. Only a sophomore. Bailey checks out, one wide receiver in motion towards the near side. Shotgun formation, play action. This time he hands the ball off, and that's going to be the first back through the line, and he's going to get stood up by a host of Spring Lions. I'm going to try to see if I can get the number here. It looks like it's once again the same running back we saw the first time, DeAndre Hardiman, the 5'8", 180-pound sophomore. Okay, so it's sophomore to sophomore. So the quarterback and the running back, both sophomores. So like I said, we'll see them for the next 3 years, including this year. Twins flanked out to the far side of the field, one flanked on the near side. Okay, Bailey with forever and a day to throw. going to hit his wide receiver in stride for a phenomenal gain. So like I said earlier, I'm going to try my best to try to see if I can find that. It looks like that was number 8, David Amador, the 6 foot, 180-pound senior. So phenomenal pitch and catch, Bailey to Amador. So so it looks like athletic training staff going to the far side of the field. It looks like there's a spring lion down on the far side of the field near the sideline. So we'll see if we can get a number there. So 10-15 remaining in this opening quarter. So it's going to be great, to follow North Shore as they go through the regular season, and they are the odds-on favorite to make it back to the state championship. So 6A kind of splits off in the playoffs to Division I and Division II. So just collectively for 6A, teams to beat Austin Westlake, defending, I think they've won it 3 times in a row. They beat Denton Geyer last year. Denton Geyer also in the mix. South Lake Carroll, which is near Fort Worth, Dallas, and North Shore are on the short list. And we had actually last night, amazingly, Legacy Stadium. It was Katy versus Atascocita. So that was a number 5 versus, I believe, a number 10 matchup, with Katy coming out with Seth Davis with that phenomenal, I believe it was like a 57-yard run to close that out. That was a chess match back and forth. It was tied 28-all, and Davis goes in for the touchdown. So Katy also in the thick of things. Everyone's remember from last year, unfortunately, they ran into Westlake in the semifinals, and they actually had an answer for Seth Davis. So Bailey, like I said, forever and a day. Great job by the offensive lineman of blocking for him, and he's going to get to about the 40-yard line. So actually this is going to be number, Caleb Bailey, like I said, the numbering system, it's almost like a metallic sublime fluorescent silver. Like I said, at this vantage point, sometimes it's hard to pick out exactly the number. So Bailey, shotgun formation, 1 running back flanked to his side. Twins far side, 1 wide out to the near side of the field. Bailey, play action. Ooh, fumble. And we're going to see exactly if that was picked up. So this might be a good break by Spring. We're going to see who came up with the football. Okay, so North Shore fortunately getting that. However, they are punting, so they would have probably turned it over anyway, but at least they'll put Spring in less favorable field position. Punt scheme here, and they're going to shoot it up, and it's going to be caught, or no, the Spring runner is just going to let it go. It takes a favorable North Shore Mustang bounce, and it's going to be down at about the 3-yard line. So great job for the North Shore Mustang special team unit being able to swarm to that ball like they do defensively to be able to pin Spring inside the 5. So Spring's first opportunity. Spring knows they are the underdog coming into this game against North Shore. So if they want to try to be able to get in this game, it would be a great start for them to try to get a touchdown opening-wise. So let's see the quarterback. Shotgun formation from his own 2-yard line. Play action, going to hand the ball off, and it's going to be first back through line, and he's going to get some momentum and some pushing by the offensive lineman. So actually, instead of forward progress being called, that was not a bad gain considering how it started. So it looks like quarterback for Spring is number 2. That is going to be Clorid Johnson Jr., who's also conveniently a junior classification-wise, or class-wise, mind you. So Clorid Johnson Jr. trying to look at the sideline for the signal. So Corey Johnson Jr. over here, looks like shotgun formation. 2 backs flanked behind him. Usually don't see this, usually only see 1 running back flanked behind him, but this time there are 2. Oh, 5 goes in motion. So, North Shore swarming to the ball. Forward progress is going to be called, but great job there. That was about 3 or 4 North Shore Mustangs. Had that sniffed out from the start like a pack of wolves on a 3-legged cat. So they had it all out. So we're going to see, this is going to bring up, I believe, a 3rd down. And let's see, about 3rd and about 5. Or let's see, 3rd and 8. So 3rd and 8 opportunity. We have Corey Johnson Jr., the quarterback. He's going to be shotgun, trips, flanked to the near side of the field. 1 wide out, flanked to the far side of the field. Corey Johnson Jr. with a lot of penetration there by North Shore, and North Shore just basically hits him pretty good to keep him contained. So that's going to be 3 and out for Spring Lions' first offensive drive. So North Shore performing as advertised offensively as well as defensively. So a ball is going to be about, let's say about the 3.5, maybe 4 yard line. So they're going to set up the punt, 6:34 to go. Score is still scoreless here. Spring ISD Planet Ford Stadium. So punter is going to punt the ball. And he is going to punt it. Not the best punt. And it's going to be picked up at about by number 3 inside the 30. So it looks like they're going to actually, that was number 3 for North Shore. That is going to be Terrence Guillory, I believe is how you pronounce that. And that is going to be phenomenal field position for North Shore. So you never want to give North Shore the short side of the field, and especially you don't want to give them the ball inside the 30-yard line. So North Shore licking their chops here. So shotgun formation, 1 running back flanked to Bailey's right. Twins flanked out on either side of the hashes. Bailey, like I said, great, wide open to number 2. Number 2 in stride for the touchdown. So that is going to be Christopher Barnes, the 5'8", 160-pound junior. So just like that, not even 6 minutes have elapsed in this first quarter. 5:54 to be exact have elapsed, and we already have the first score of the ball game. Most people, if you talk to them before the game, they would think that North Shore would score first, and that's exactly what they did. So 6-0 is the score. 6:06 remaining in this first and initial quarter. Extra point by number 85 is going to split the uprights. For the extra point, that's going to be Carlos Dominguez, the 5'10", 185-pound senior kicker. So rain is a factor, so as long as it just rains, it seems like it can be fine. They can still play. You just don't want to have any thunder or lightning, because that's when they would have to do a weather delay. So we saw a weather delay overall. Texas A&M Aggies actually had a pretty considerable rain delay when they played Sam Houston State in College Station. So weather delays are very much a reality. Like I said, last night watching Katy versus Atascocita, that game was pushed out an hour and a half. So North Shore going to kick at their own 40-yard line with a 7-0 advantage thus far. All right, North Shore going to pick the ball, fair catch by 11, and he's going to catch it at about the 25-26-yard line. So Spring Lions, second offensive drive for the Spring Lions. Spring hoping that it goes a little better for this time than the last time. They were 3 and out last time. So we'll see if Spring can put together a decent drive. And like I said, try to stay in this game. When you play a team of this caliber in North Shore, you really want to try to see if you can keep the game as close as possible and then kind of hope for a big break and a little luck on your side. Because on any given Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night in Texas football, on the high school level, anything can happen. So number 2 for North Shore. That's going to be Clara Johnson Jr. going to hand the ball off to Tyron McNeil, the senior running back, but there is movement, so there is a flag on the field. 6:04. Clock did not even begin to run. False start on 75 for Spring. That's going to be Robert Laura, the offensive lineman, the sophomore. So 6:04 to go. 7-0 as the score. North Shore Mustangs on top. The visiting North Shore Mustangs. They are probably looking forward to next week against Westfield in North Shore. Top 10 matchup. Ooh, Clara Johnson Jr. throwing to 11, who was the one who did the fair catch on the kickoff, in and out of his hands. So 2nd and 15 for Spring. Like I said, Clara Johnson Jr., the quarterback. So looking at the sidelines for the play. Ball's going to be placed, let's say, about the 22-yard line. So on the far hash, we got Spring operating left to right. North Shore opposite direction. Twins flanked out to either side of the offensive line. Johnson checks out, doing a little bit of audible, assessing the scene. Johnson claps his hands. Going to see what he can do already in running back mode. And there's going to be about 3 or 4 North Shore Mustangs that just literally blew up the hole and knocked Johnson Jr. back a bit. So when that happens, when there's usually that's a shared sack, and with 3 of them, I still think it's going to be a shared sack. They're not going to go .33, so half a sack for all 3 gentlemen. So bringing up a 3rd and 19. Not a whole lot of plays that you have for 3rd and 19, so we're going to see what Johnson Jr. calls up here from the offensive coordinator. Johnson Jr. going for broke. Ooh, almost a catch there to number 1, but a great play there. Let's try to see who that is. It looks like that's number 5 for North Shore. That is Jacoby Davis, the 5'11", 175-pound senior DB. So great job there for North Shore. Pretty impressed with the arm by Johnson Jr. What a pass that was. Okay, punt will start here. We're about the 17-yard line. So we're going to see if they're going to punt directly to the returners or if they're going to try to pooch it out of bounds. So high punt, and that's going to go out of bounds. So we're going to see exactly where they're going to place that ball. So regardless of where they place it, that's going to be another favorable field position for the North Shore Mustangs. Oh, there is a flag on the play, so we're going to see what they call here. Okay, 15-yard penalty. So that was a 15-yard penalty. So since it was assessed on the defense during the special teams aspect of that play, they're going to bring the offense back on for Spring. So Spring probably best break they've had thus far. Let's see if Spring can capitalize off of the miscue from the North Shore special teams unit. So Johnson Jr., quarterback, going to hand the ball off to 5-5, get in a decent hole, all things considered, for a decent gain. So that's going to be Tyron McNeil, the senior running back. So under 5 minutes to go in this first and opening quarter. Just about 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter. It is North Shore Mustangs versus the Spring Lions. We're out here, Spring ISD Planet Ford Stadium. So Johnson Jr. shotgun formation. One running back flanked to his right. Twins flanked on the near side of the field. One wide out on the far side. Play action, going to hand the ball off to 5. And 5 is going to get stood up by about 3 or 4 North Shore Mustangs. So you got to give a lot of credit to the defensive coordinator there. Just great defensive schemes, and also making the job a little easier for the defensive coordinator is when you have the kind of athletes that North Shore has on the defense. So a lot of physical specimens and probably quite a few players running below a 4.7, probably even some kids running about a 4.5 or a sub 4.5 40. So Johnson shotgun formation. Twins flanked out to the near side of the field. Johnson going to try to hit 1, and 1 is going to catch it, and he is going to be really close to the down marker. So clock was running, and they stopped at about 3:06. So looks like they're kind of talking it over. It looked like one referee decided to move his hand in favor of North Shore, saying turnover of downs. They are going to bring the sticks out. So they are going to measure and try to see how close it is, and also if they got the first down or not. So let's go. First down, Spring. So that was a great job there by the wideout, because a good quality in a wideout is being able to know where the down marker is, so you can hit your route, and then even if you're a little short of it, catch the ball and be able to make it to the first down. So great job there by the wideout. Phenomenal play there by, I believe, it was number 1 for Spring. That was Khalib Gates, the senior wideout. So Johnson Jr. shotgun formation. Twins flanked out far side of the field. One wideout on the near side of the field. Johnson Jr. barking out the signals, clapping his hands. Ooh, bobbles the snap. Going to decide to just call his own number. He actually gets a few yards by doing that. So it'll be interesting to see what the play would have been had it not been for that. Okay, so Johnson Jr. is looking at the sideline for the play. So play clock going to be under 14 seconds. So still a little bit of time, about 10 seconds left on the play clock. 2:16 to go on the game clock. First quarter action here, Spring versus North Shore. Johnson Jr. Ooh. Hanging out the wide receiver to dry, and that was number 17 for Spring. That was Desmond Landry, the junior wideout. So as a quarterback, you really want to make sure that you follow through as much as possible. I know that's sometimes hard when you have a great defensive unit in front of you like North Shore, but the wideouts sometimes are trusting in the quarterback that you're able to get it closer into the numbers to avoid that one. So that could have been a lot worse. Fortunately, that wasn't that big of a hit, because you kind of get exposed as a wide receiver when that happens. So ball is at the 46-yard line, approaching midfield. Johnson Jr. Oh, in some trouble here, and he is going to keep juking and jiving, but he gets brought down by about 3 or 4 North Shore Mustangs. So Johnson Jr., very athletic quarterback. Like I said, he has basically some running back moves to go along with his arm, which can help, especially on an evening like this when you're going against the speed and the size that North Shore brings to the table. Okay, so punter going to punt it at about the 32, and he is going to kick it. Decent punt, and he's going to be fair caught there by about the 18-yard line. That's going to be number 3. for the North Shore Mustangs. So that's going to be Evan Jackson, 6 foot, 180-pound senior DB. So ball is going to be at the 19-yard line. So fortunately for Spring, North Shore does not have the short side of the field this time around. Twins flanked out the far side, one wide out near side. Bailey going to hand the ball off, first running back through the line, still on his feet, and he's going to go towards the middle and almost to midfield. So great run there. So ball is initially on the 19-yard line, and ball is going to now be at the 42. So hurry up offense by North Shore. They don't even let Spring get ready, and they are going to just keep pounding that football. So when you see a team that can do no huddle on top of everything that I've already mentioned North Shore has, that means that they have the stamina and the conditioning to match the size and the speed and athletic ability that they already have. So this team is going to be tough, reminiscent of the old K-Gun Buffalo Bills in the early 90s when they would do that. I remember them gassing out the Raiders in the AFC Championship, going, I believe, in their first Super Bowl. Oh, Bailey with some pressure, going to hit two in stride, just the speed on number 2, and he's going to go in Pater. He's going to hit Pater. Phenomenal play, 48 yards to the house. So you're, like I said, you're seeing that's Christopher Barnes, 5'8", 160-pound junior receiver speedster. So when, like I said, when you have a host of players like North Shore does that run sub 4.6 and you let them go into the open field, there's just like the defensive scheme, you're just trying to contain them at best. So with still in the first quarter, extra point is good. So that's going to make it 14-0 in favor of the North Shore Mustang, defending state champion North Shore Mustangs. So that's pretty much a trademark type of touchdown for the North Shore Mustangs, being able to, like I said, just really showcase that athletic ability. Okay, so ball is going to be flanked at the 40-yard line. It's going to be North Shore on the kickoff unit. So we're going to see what the number is. Like I said, they have this like fluorescent metallic, almost a sublime type of numbering. The jerseys look phenomenal, but like I said, sometimes on the optics side, to be able to pick out the numbers, sometimes it's not the easiest for me at this standpoint. So it looks like it's number 86, I believe, for North Shore, and he's going to kick it to about inside the 20. It's going to be the runner, number 9, and 9 going to have some running room, and he's going to take it around the 40-yard line. So not a bad kickoff return there for Spring. Okay, so 11 seconds to go. It looks like the Jumbotron temporarily like blacked out, so glad to see it's back on. 11 seconds to go in this first and opening quarter. Okay, Johnson Jr. at the, so Spring at their own 42-yard line, so not bad field position. You can thank the kickoff returner for that. So 42-yard line. Shotgun formation, Twins flanked out to either side, one running back to Johnson Jr.'s right. Johnson claps his hands, slips with the ball, so now you're going to see that can be a factor. And the North Shore, like I said, whenever there's pressure towards the quarterback, a lot of teams, you know, they might have one standout, and then with North Shore, you like literally the past few times we've seen Johnson Jr. hurried, it's usually 2, 3, and sometimes 4 North Shore Mustangs that are up in his grill. So that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Score is 14-0, North Shore over Spring We'll be back right after this for the second quarter.